Thursday, March 30th. It's about 4:30 p.m. Central. I had my guys today clear out in the treat area that was cut back in September. It was due again, so they cut everything out so it looks pleasant again, and you can see through this half of the property. The septic tanks are in place. They are actually ready to be connected. I've got to put the caps back on the tops. My buddy Aldo has the caps back at the Airbnb because people steal them. So we waited till they were ready to use the caps before we decided to bring them out here. So I'll bring those out probably in the morning. And you can see that the septic tanks are both in place. So, as I stated in a previous video, it's a 2 septic tank system. These are, I believe, 1,300 gallon septic tanks each, and it will go from one to the other, then into the leach field, which will be that way, or as they call it, the filter roll. So everything is looking pretty good. The guy is also going to connect everything to the container once the container's here. I still have the foundation guys on hold, and the water platform is done, so I can bring the water tanks, or the one water tank, back. I haven't purchased a second one yet. It's not really needed yet. One should be sufficient until all 4 containers are in place. The tree guy came out today to finish cutting, so we'll go take a look and see what it looks like now. It looks like these guys have been, oh nope, that's the frame from the water tank. I thought the guys had removed the frame from the first foundation, which they have not, because they haven't been out here. So a couple of videos ago I showed you that the tree fell and kind of destroyed the dreams of the leisure area, but because it cleared out so many trees that provided cover. So now that everything has been cut up, which they finished, now we've got usable wood. We can use this for anything. They got it stacked in chunks. They've got, I had them cut 8-foot pieces also, so we can do countertops, tables, pretty much anything. So this would be a clear area. I was thinking about putting a pond over here to help with the mosquitoes. Haven't decided yet, because this will be where the first container is pointed, which is fire. And so to represent fire, I'll have a fire pit. So there'll be a fire pit over here somewhere. So I could have a pond and a fire pit. But this area is pretty clear now. It's pretty open. So it can be almost anything. So everything's looking good. Hopefully I'll be able to bring you some drone footage. I'm going to try to fire up the drone in a few minutes and add the drone footage onto this video before I upload it. These are some of the flat pieces. This would be good for a tabletop. And these are some of the chunks. Hadn't decided what I'll use those for yet. So It's really some good wood. I still have to cut this tree. I'll have my guys cut this tree. I'll walk around to the green field, which I also had them clear out some limbs to allow some more sun in. And so I've kind of figured out, thanks to some help from others, wherever you have places that don't stay dry enough for you, just cut out limbs of trees or cut out the trees so that the sun can get through. That way, when you do have days of sun, it dries up the water and the mud. It keeps it from being soft, wet areas. So I had them cut 2 limbs off here, and it actually freed up, opened up a hole where the sun can come through and keep this area dry, which is good. So far, all the trees are looking pretty good. There's one banana tree that's doesn't look like it's faring too well, but I'm sure it'll be fine. The plantain tree is doing fine. Both mango trees seem to be taking well. And I had them cut down a tree by the lime tree or lemon tree to get rid of any competition. So it's growing pretty well also. There's also something eating at this leaf on this banana plant only. So I may have brought it from wherever I got the plant from. Who knows? So I also had them cut 2 trees back down here to make sure that the other mango tree got some sun. So that's more planting space. So the green field is looking good. That path is another path. I actually made an ATV trail out of it that takes you to the Zapatera tree. So I rode up that one a couple days ago. It's pretty good. So next week, I'm gonna have the guys dig this out to figure out whether it's gonna be a pond, or I'm actually thinking it could possibly be a well. I don't know. There's a guy about 3 hours away from here. I have to call him to see if he can come and do a test and find out. So if there's a well on the property, that's just gold. So, and the other ATV trail looks pretty good. You can pretty much see up it from here. Takes you to actually takes you to the highest elevation on the property, or one of the highest elevations. And there actually may be an even higher one, but I haven't made my way to it. I think a new batch of dragonflies have just hatched because they're all over the place, but that's good because they take care of the mosquitoes. Still waiting on my last 4 brackets. Let's see, 3 brackets for the poles for the last solar pole and one side of the other. I discovered that each of my panels are 39¼ inches wide. So a correction to what I thought previously, I won't have 4 panels on each pole. I'll have 2 panels on each pole, possibly 3, but I'm not gonna push my luck. I think 2 panels each pole, so that means that on the 6 poles, I'll have a total of 12 panels, which is half of what I actually have. So each panel is 450 watts, so 900 watts per pole times 6. So it's 5,400 watts. It's enough to power the containers, but I will need more panel power for the house. So the house, 5K or 5 kilowatts is probably about what you use. Between 5 and 7 kilowatts is the average household uses in a house that's about 2,000 to 2,500 square feet. So actually 12 panels is fine for now. So that means that I'll have 15 panels left over. I have a total of 27 panels, 11 kilowatts total. So that means I can take 2 panels over toward the container and power the pump. So that actually is going to work out great. Now I've got to figure out where I'm going to put the other 15 panels. So fortunately I don't have to come up with that now, but that's what I'm looking at. And I had them bring the wood that I purchased from the hardware store, which I hadn't figured out how I'm going to use yet. And this is the wood from the Zapatero tree that's used on top of the bridge. They cut some limbs here to let some more sun in for the banana trees. So overall, we're looking good. This is a small plant area. The flags represent different things that are planted. I can't even remember what they all are. And then the vertical garden, everything's still growing there. It's probably time to move some of that stuff out and put it in the ground. There's a tomato plant around here somewhere. I just can't remember where it is. And these black plants in containers love water, so they'll be planted somewhere around the bridge area or the entrance. So we'll see. But that's it for the recording. Anything else after this will probably be via drone, so I'm going to see if I can get the drone fired up. I had my drone out here about 3 weeks ago, I think, and I got a little too rambunctious and decided I wanted to fly it around the property in circles, actually in an area where I couldn't see it, and I ended up getting caught in some trees and it took a crash. So I've got to reattach one of the arms on it. Fortunately, I have 2 drones so that I have access to, so it's no problem. But I do need to do some drone repair work. So it did rain again today. It was light rain, but it did rain. So the more it rains, the more muddy the road stays. But that's it for now.